Good morning and welcome to the daily weather operations brief. We'll start off by taking a look at this morning's surface analysis chart, in which we can see that we do have a stationary boundary sitting just south of the region, and we also have some strong northwesterly flow aloft, which is helping a short wave traverse through the local area. That is what has been working to produce these higher level clouds. Although cloud cover is diminishing, we are seeing some upper level and some mid level cloud cover as a result. This morning, the temperatures started in the low 30s, and we have been seeing some light snow showers in areas to our north along the Maryland eastern shore. However, drier air closer to our locality should be preventing any of that precipitation from reaching the ground, or at the very least limit the overall coverage and frequency of these isolated little showers that have been popping up. Tonight, our clouds do look to increase as we'll see a weak system approach from the south and lows in the mid-20s. And then moving on to Saturday, low pressure will then track from Texas through the Carolinas and bring some widespread rain, mainly to areas south of our local area, and that will continue into Sunday morning. However, those precipitation probabilities and the gradient of where that precip will stop does vary quite a bit among the models, so confidence in those outputs is somewhat low. The northern edge and extent of that rain-snow mix does look to cut off south of our area, but can't rule out the chance that we see some showers or a rain-snow mix occur tomorrow night. And with that, impacts should be rather unproblematic, as our surface temperatures will be sitting just above freezing. And that precip looks to end Saturday night into Sunday morning, followed by some sunny weather, and that will be as high pressure moves into the local area, with highs expected in the 40s and lows anticipated to drop down to the upper 20s along the coast. As for our current weather observations out on the field, we are seeing an overcast layer at 5,000 feet with some presumable upper level cloud cover above that, but we can't really get a look at that at the moment. We do have unrestricted visibility with winds largely out of the north and remaining light at about 6 knots, and our temperature is currently around 31 degrees, and our relative humidity sits at 51%. Taking a look at this morning's satellite imagery, we can see that cloud cover that is being generated by that shortwave, and the cutoff is pretty clear here on the center of the screen, and that cloud cover will continue to kind of thin out as we move through the day before we see those clouds, which we can kind of get a glimpse of down to the south, kind of move into the local area with that system approaching from the south. But overall, precip does look to remain north of us at this time, largely Maryland and areas north of Maryland. And that will bring us to the model, which will depict our precipitation chances here as we move through the day, and we can see that we are largely modeled to remain dry. All of those scattered showers and flurries do look to remain north of the area, and then we dry out for the working hours of the day, and we'll start to see to the bottom left there that system moving up from the south, and that will be what is going to generate those rain chances as we move through tomorrow. For the 24 hours ahead here, we are seeing those overcast conditions expected to progressively thin out as we move through the day and into the early morning hours of tomorrow, in which we'll see some upper level cloud cover start to push in. Our temperatures are expected to climb to around 40 and then drop down into the mid to upper 20s this evening. Winds are looking variable, light and variable at this moment, and expected to take a more northerly dominant direction throughout the day, still remaining light, and then we'll see a slight uptick as we move into the early hours of tomorrow. Once again, we could see a few flurries this morning, but overall, that precip extent does look to stay limited to areas north of us currently. And for the next few days ahead, on Saturday, we can anticipate mostly cloudy conditions and a high of 38. Those clouds will be building in throughout the day, and then Saturday night, partly to mostly cloudy with a slight chance of a rain-snow mix. Again, that many of the models are kind of uncertain of where that cutoff will be, but definitely a chance to see a little bit of precip and a low of 27. And then Sunday, mostly sunny and a high of 42. And that is going to conclude the daily weather operations brief. If everyone has a great day, I'll be back at 10 o'clock with the 7-day outlook.